I don't usually do videos like this, but I needed to get a video out to you guys considering that I'm out of town. I can't do one of my regular videos, whether we're talking about comics or we're doing whatever. So I'm in the parking lot about to head to some like pre-Thanksgiving stuff out here again in Arkansas. And I had some on my mind. If you've known me from the more social and political commentary, not necessarily the comic book stuff or even the music stuff, then some of what I'm about to say is very familiar to you. It's very familiar to you. Now, we live in this sort of this world, and we're at a place in history, if you will, that becoming or being a victim is something that is no longer just like frowned upon. It is actually praised because it's a form of social currency, right? If you can somehow convince a large amount of people that your situation, unfortunate situation that is not attributed to anything that you did, but what someone else did or something external. And that shifts depending on the demographic. Sometimes people blame other races, blame other genders, and so forth. But what it's done is got a people a lot more complacent in terms of moving about. And that's a bad thing. Now, you would think that being a victim would be something that would be offensive. It is to me, right? In the sense that that is an admittance that someone else has power over me. And taking it to the extreme, which is what a lot of people do, you're basically robbing yourself of any sort of agency, right? In which you're suggesting that it's not like everybody that's in a, let's say, a favorable position, that isn't you, got there by way of luck. And because you're in an unfavorable situation, it's somebody else's fault. Now, I don't say this to say that there aren't people that get the short end of the stick. There certainly aren't people that, or more so, I wouldn't say that there aren't people that actually are legitimate victims of some sort of aggression, some sort of crime. And unfortunately, there are instances where that may put you in, let's say, a bad economic situation. But to act as if, let's say in America's case, for the most part, that is just applies to an entire demographic of people is sort of crazy when you think about it, and you think about the vast amounts of different upbringing, that people have going about life. And it's like you got people that want to put everybody in this sort of box. Well, you look like this, you're this color, and therefore everything that you did is attributed to what somebody else did. And it's like, really? And again, I consider it offensive because it robs you of that agency. Now, this conspiracy, or lack thereof, I really wouldn't call it a conspiracy. I really think this is something that has been orchestrated, if you will, by a lot of people that are professional liberators. And by that, I mean it's false. It's a false sense of liberation. But people get some sense out of being represented, or more so being a representative of, let's say, an entire demographic. And they're like, I'm trying to free my people, right? I'm trying to free these people. And quite often these people are leading folks off of a cliff. I see this all the time when you get the sort of, you just pick your minority group, marginalized group. And these people often adopt not only just policies that are leading these people off the cliff, but just in terms of their rhetoric and the fact that they want you to be complacent because it's like, it's not your fault. But look at me, right? I'm here to help, right? And often these people get in positions of power and get in positions of government, more so, in which they can use that territorial monopoly of use of force, violence, and ultimate decision making that government has to sort of try to orchestrate or social engineer. Let's call it what it is. I'm here to tell you, man, don't be a victim. Even if I know there's a situation where somebody wronged me, I always try to look at what it is that I could do to not put myself in that situation. That to me is liberation. That is being self-reliant. That is being self-sufficient. That is being reliant just in general upon yourself, accepting your own agency. That way you look at it from a standpoint, if I saw success, yes, I may have had help here and there, but that's just human action and human affair. I'm in a situation that I'm in because of me. And it just from definitely in this day and age where everybody has these sort of mental issues and such, think of it like that, and I promise you, just going about your day, you're going to feel better. You're going to feel better about, okay, yes, my situation may suck right now. It may suck. But I can do something to change it. And it's on me. It's on me as an individual to make the necessary steps to put forth those changes. So I'm here to tell you people, if you learn nothing else today from this video, know this is sort of a side note from a lot of the videos that I do. Don't be a victim. Don't be a professional victim, especially. Take acceptance of more so your own agency and how you move about life. But if you are sort of having this approach throughout everything that you do, and that is somebody else's fault, white folk, this sort of folk, what have you, doesn't matter. This gender. If you keep adopting that and you keep accepting that as a reality, then your world will not move unless somebody else comes to move it for you. Quite frankly, if that is the case, you are going to be waiting forever.